welcome to another podcast episodes with me, Michelle. This is Stitches Unraveled, and it's been a few weeks since last time we talked, and if you are new here, I'm a crochet designer, but also going more and more into my knitting, and I'm on a knitting journey for sure, and I am really enjoying myself. So we talk about everything that basically has to do with crocheting and knitting on this podcast. So if you want to stick around and just join us today, then maybe you want to grab something nice to drink and also a project that you would like to work on maybe during the time that I am here sitting and speaking. And I'm sorry, it's a bit of a mess over here, but I don't have time to clean it up. My family is out and about. I don't know if you hear the buzz out as well, but it's a nice summer day here in Sweden. So I'm just going to grab the moment and just jump right in because otherwise, little things would be done. So yeah, if you want to stick around, just stick around. Okay, guys, current projects, right? I'm having my coffee over here. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Don't really have I have finished projects, but I don't have the finished projects that I would like to have. I don't know if I think I ate porridge this morning, and I think I have one of those little oats stuck in my throat. I hope it will disappear. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that there was a few knitting projects that I wish I had finished. My Daisy Lane top and my also summer cardigan that I'm part of a knit along where it's with Maja Karlsson, and they're a Swedish yarn brand called Järdebo, and it's the first time I'm joining, and I'm really having fun, but it's taking a little bit longer than I wish it did. So just briefly talk a little bit about maybe why I have not had the chance to work as much as I wanted to on my knitting project is because I had a few crochet projects that I had to finish first. So I had my young kids, all of them are young. I have three, if you're new here. Yeah, they were finishing school, so we needed some kind of like summer gift to give to the teacher. It's a nice thing to do. I enjoy doing it. But yeah, so I made sure that I crocheted pot holders for all of them, and I will try to show you some pictures of that if I have it on the screen. So that took a little bit of time, not too much. I had a few already finished and done, but there was I think it was missing one or two that I had to put some effort in. And then on top of that, I also had another project that I had to finish, which was the project that I am working for another. I'm working with it with a company. I do crochet patterns for them, and this was one very cute granny square clutch bag that you could adjust in different sizes, but also use if that would fit, or if you choose to have a more rounded metal handle, or if you want to have a more like squarey, I guess a more edgy clutch handle. Oh, sorry, the door was flying close. I cannot speak. It was closing. Anyway, so I had that to work with, and that took a little bit of time. Not that there was a complicated pattern, but more just to make sure everything is as it should be in a pattern, because as you know, they need to be correct if someone else is going to copy the pattern as well and make it correct. So that took a little bit of time, and considering also now that my kids are home from school and everything, obviously my time to do certain projects is less, or like at least it's shrunk a bit, and yeah, I don't have that much time. And when I feel that I still want to use my hands because I feel like I need to do something, and then the big knitting projects, they're getting so big now, so it's a little bit hard, especially if I'm on certain places in the knitting where it's like you need to concentrate. You don't want to take that out and do it around the kids and then be interrupted a million times and then forget where you are. So I've started a lot of like small crochet projects instead, or a lot, but like for example, I did this little doll. It's my own pattern. It's I think I call them gems, and it's only in Swedish at the moment in my Etsy store. I've been thinking about making it also into a English pattern, but it's basically this little doll. The hair is different from the other dolls because my daughter wanted to make some like a doll that they could make different hairstyles on. So, and this is a dress that it's usually the actual doll is like something like that. I think it's a very cute doll shape on these ones. They're very like kind, I think, and nice and healthy. But I also made some maybe two dresses I have for their dolls. Sorry for the voice. But yeah, so they want more clothes so they can play with them a bit more. But that took a little time to make, and I've started a second doll because I have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and they are very competitive. And like if I make something for one, the other one wants it too. So I started one as well, and it's my little like small project, I guess. And the knitting socks that I had started before is not being done anything on at all. I think I'm gonna actually unravel that and start over, and maybe because I think the size of that might be too small anyway. Now, there's another fun thing that is going on in the background here, and well, two things actually that also is stealing a bit of my time, and that is one, I was contacted by another creator, and I will keep this a little bit low profile for now because I'm still working on certain the project in mind and the pattern in mind. But I was contacted by another very creative and very talented creator and crocheter, and she's supposed to during the autumn she's actually planning to have a summit in English, and I think that's very exciting. And she's asked me if I wanted to join, and I'm just like, yes, of course. So that's very exciting too. But I have a little project for that I'm working on, so that is also being in the background, and I have a very tight deadline on that because first I really wanted to make a new one because it felt important, and then also I think I do have the time, even though my kids are home and etc. But I feel like that's something I would like work with a whole night without sleeping if I had to. So I'm gonna work with that and have fun with that, and I'm gonna really much enjoy it when it's finished. But that is also a little secret project, I guess, for now. But then if we're gonna talk a little bit about my knitting, so I mentioned the summer cardigan, right? So I have actually, I'm not like too far behind, but as you can see, it's like still far from being done. So this is the front. So all the yoke is finished with the pattern, which is very cool. Like I think it turned out very cute. Then in the pattern, she's chosen to have a texture on this. So it's not like any mistakes or anything like that. It's just like she's chosen to have a texture there, which I thought looked very cool as well. And it's not a very complicated one. It's like the first row is like, it's basically a purl stitch, 3 knit stitches, and then a purl stitch, and then 3 knit stitches, and then you do the following 3 rows in just knit stitches, and then you do again the three knit stitches and then a purl stitch, knit 3, so and then make sure that they are lined up like that. So yeah, I'm really excited. And oh, I'm sorry, that door is slamming a lot. I hope it's not going to continue. I'm going to maybe have to look that up or fix that, but I'm just gonna show you this. So you can see in the middle there where I'm gonna then later on steek, which is also something I'm both excited and a little bit scared to do, but that is working up pretty nice. So one of my projects that has unfortunately had to lay resting. Oh, so I need to clean this desk. I'm so sorry. I'm so messy. It's just that when you have kids and you're starting projects and you just want to like put down your needles very quickly because whatever reason your kids might be doing something and you need to just be you just need to be there very fast. So yeah, so this is being a bit messy. I'm gonna have to clean it. I am trying to clean out a lot of things in my like just in general in the house, just to make more room for things and just get rid of things that we don't use. But again, I don't think it's that much update. It's like this is going to be sort of almost like a t-shirt, a little bit longer sleeves than a t-shirt, but almost So I'm just about to do the ribbing part in the on the bottom there, and I was scared a little bit that I was going to run out of this one specifically. I talked a little bit about this in the previous video, and it is the oh, is it alpaca silk and mulberry? I don't remember now, but I this was the like last I had two, and this is the last I have left. So for using two, I think it's pretty like you've got like a lot of out of that. However, I'm a little bit scared that I'm not going to have enough for the sleeves. So I actually ended up buying one more, and I'm glad I did. And I think it was the exact same dye lot as well. So that is great. I don't think it would have mattered that much if it would have been a little bit different. I don't think, but lucky I don't need to worry about that. I am also changing a little bit on the bottom there where it says one thing in the pattern to do something, and I'm just like, I don't want to do that. It's like splitting uh, on the sides, like so you work on the back side and the front side, and you have a little split on the sides. I might regret not doing that. I just don't want to say, like, I don't know. It felt like it goes a little quicker to work in the round, so I'm just going to continue doing that. And then also, again, I'm doing the twisted knit stitches and the twisted purl stitches, which is like a little bit like it's not as uncomfortable as doing it just the regular way. But for some reason, because they had it on the top here, I just felt like I'm going to try to recreate that on the bottom. I don't know if it's going to turn out great or not, and I guess we'll just have to see how it goes. I'm really hoping that it will, you know, work itself out, just because it's been on my needle now for some time. So we'll see. And so those two are my current knit projects, and like I said, I have a ongoing project also with the doll, and then I have that little secret project for the summit as well. And I think those are my current projects, but I have a lot of things on my mind. I keep looking there because I usually have the camera there, but I need to look there. So yeah, let's jump into the projects that I would like to do. I almost tried to turn off the camera for some reason. Don't need to do that. Just gonna cut that little part out in the middle. Oh, my hair is a little messy here. Yeah, so things I'm gonna just had to fix that door just because it was bothering me. Oh, I'm shaking everything. No. Oh, I said there was two things, by the way. I forgot to tell you another thing that is also an ongoing project that might slow down some of my knitting and etc. And that is that I have a book contract, actually, a Swedish book contract for a new Christmas calendar that will be published next year. So I need to write it, and it needs to go through editing and etc. And I have a deadline not until in the beginning of next year, but obviously, like sometimes it can take a while to write and do research. So I'm looking very much forward to do that. It's going to be a cozy mystery, a little bit of romance, feel goody kind of vibe on that. And so that is very cool and fun. I wish in the future to have a few books probably translated into English. So, but we can talk about that in a different video. This is not that video, but I wanted to just say how that also obviously going to affect my time in the time that I have to knit. But in this chapter, we're going to talk about the projects that I would like to do. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am trying to slow down on what I want to do just because I noticed that it takes me a bit of time to do the things that I have now. And it's not realistic to put on too many wishes on my wish list, even though you should be able to have as many wishes you want. But I would just be sad if I didn't have the chance to do most of them then. Like, for example, I have a bit of bell drop spell, is it called, the yard the yard, whatever. Like what else, um, and wanted to use it for summer tops and etc., but I don't know if I'm gonna have the chance to do that in time. But I think I will also try to do and use that yarn during the autumn time, because obviously, like, I don't think it's realistic, and I think I've talked about this before as well. I don't think it's realistic that I knit or crochet for the season that I'm in, because, you know, it takes time and it's called slow fashion. And if you're not going to probably have the chance to use it for that moment or that season if you're not very quick and you don't have any like too many interruptions. So I should like try to be at least one season ahead. Like for example, now I should be knitting for autumn, and then in autumn I should be knitting for Christmas or winter time, and then etc. Yeah, but I'm gonna slow down a little bit. I wish though, there's one thing I wish. I wish I had a chance to do or knit a bandana that I was looking for, because that would have been nice to just have the hair go a little bit off my face. But we'll see. I know I could crochet one, but I think I want to knit one because there's a knitted version that I would love to do. Anyway, um, I have one project that I do have in mind, ordered yarn for it, and I'm gonna make it. And that's the Weasley Christmas sweater for my brother. I'm just like, that is going to be done. And his birthday is in October, so I do have some time, but that is something that I want to start almost to do next. And I think on top of that one, or like around that one, I'm not going to try to start any big projects, because I feel like having the summer cardigan and the Daisy Lane top, they are two bigger projects, and I feel like that everything goes very slow and you don't really know which one to prioritize. So I think I'm gonna after those two, just gonna start with the Weasley jumper, and then I'm just gonna add small projects, because I want to do, I want to knit new beanies for my kids. I want to do some scarves, and I want to do some gloves, and I want to do some socks. So I think I'm going to keep myself with this smaller project, and if I feel like it, maybe I will start with a top, a singlet, like a very summery top, even though I might not have the chance to use it this season. I'll still make it, because I do need to rinse out a few of things in my own wardrobe, and it would be cool to start adding things that I have made myself. That would be a goal eventually, like that, have most of the things in my wardrobe that I've done myself. Even sewing, I've been doing a few small sewing projects, trying to get into sewing a little bit more as well. So I'm not going to talk too much in this chapter. I think that's going to be enough. And I think we're going to jump into the spotlight question, and it's going to be a little bit of a one. So we'll see. I hope you keep working on your project, and that you make sure to have some water or other, tea, coffee, whatever in between. So yeah, let's jump into the next chapter. So this is the spotlight question, and I am not even sure how to ask the question. But what I wanted to talk about, I think, is why I can't even speak. What I wanted to talk about was how to receive a pattern, how to get, like, how do you. We're some all of us, we're different people, right? And some people prefer seeing things visually. They want a lot of pictures in their pattern if it's a written pattern. Others would like to have a lot of video materials for it. Some people don't even want the written one, because they feel like they need to see someone make it or do it before they can read the pattern, because the pattern can be confusing. And yeah, so I think that it's also very interesting, because I'm obviously trying to write a pattern myself, which I forgot to tell you. That is another thing that I'm also obviously taking my time making working on making my own knitting pattern, which you can see another series of. So I'm not gonna talk more about that, but um, and I'm also a crochet designer, so I'm making patterns, and I understand, and I'm reading other people's patterns, and I'm taking, so I feel like I have some experience in, what works for me and what doesn't work. And I think it's interesting, because there's one thing that I've noticed, and that is that in crochet patterns, they do have, most of the times, from what I've seen, a lot of photos, especially if you're doing amigurumi, for example, because there's a lot of small elements, I guess, there where you have to do certain things. But then maybe a little bit less images when you're making something bigger. Maybe more construction informational images, and maybe videos when making, for example, a bag as well, depending on the complexity of the bag. Is that how you say it? Um, yeah, anyway. And yeah, when I'm knitting right now, for example, I barely have any. I have the finished photos, I guess, for the Daisy Lane top on Drop's website, and for the cardigan as well, which is a free pattern, by the way, if you're interested. um, But you can find it on Ravelry. Maya Karlsson is the designer, and that is also just finished images, not very much step-by-step photos in the pattern. However, I know that they are, for this specific pattern or cardigan, every year they do make dedicated blog posts as well, and you get to see some process photos, but it's not much, I think, that where they really show you like, and then you go in, and then you purl, and then you do this. Like, there's not that many of those photos. And I don't know if there's the big difference there is like because it's not just for beginners, but also for more, comfortable knitters. However, I do think also when I was making the cardigan here, which I have here, the Eva cardigan by Petite Knit, it was also no images, like step-by-step images, if you will. And I think that's so interesting because they are much more common, I think, with crochet patterns and less common in knitting patterns. And I think that we need them in knitting patterns as well. I think they have a function. I also think that there are supposed to be videos for certain things because people do things differently. For example, if I would crochet something and if I should decrease, I don't do it myself every time, but like the way I decrease is different from how someone else is decreasing. And I'm not going to go into details with that, but like there's different ways to do things. When knitting, for example, when they also do things, they say, oh, just decrease or increase or add a few loops or take away a few loops. Like there's a different ways on how to do things. And obviously, it would be nice to be basically, I guess, guided towards a video of that on their website or something like that. And so you know exactly what to do, even as a beginner when you're learning. But I think that is very interesting, especially, and I'm learning what I like and what I don't like. And I do like the combination of the images, the videos, and the written pattern. I do feel like the summer cardigan has a lot of like text. It's several pages. It's very much like the text can be easily overwhelming. But I do think that if you read it just because that's what I do, I couldn't read the full pattern straight away. I'm going very much step by step. I'm not going to even be worried about the steeking part before I'm, understanding how to do the texture over here. Or when I was making the yoke and with all the color work, which was the first time I ever did that kind of color work, I was like, I'm not gonna worry too much about like because when I started, I was like, how am I supposed to increase in the middle of these, and how many stitches or how many loops, I was like, nope, step by step and just do what they say. Just step by step and do what they say and just try to learn. And I've been learning how to, like, if you lose a stitch, for example, how to fish it up with the help of a crochet hook, etc. So, I mean, I'm learning a lot, and I guess that's the, part of the process. But I don't know. What are your wishes when you're seeing patterns, knitting patterns, crochet patterns? Like some people just need to look at the actual diagram and then they can basically do the whole design and the whole thing, which is incredible. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, I think I like the combination of everything, and I like the. I know that if I, for example, just follow the text, I'm usually fine. But if there is a moment, like place there where I feel like, oh, I don't really understand this, I wish there was like like pictures or videos available for me to then just go and just have a quick look and be like, oh, okay, that's easy, because most of the time it's easier than you think. Like I feel like I have the tendency to overcomplicate things when it says like, oh, do this and this, blah 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 blah, and then I'm like, whoa, how am I gonna do that? And that sounds so complicated. But then if I see someone do it in a video and I'm like, is that all I needed to do? Is that all? Oh, and then I can be annoyed because, most people can probably do most patterns. Yeah, I love that it's a bit of a combination of things. And I like when other creators, even not the designer themselves, if there are other creators out there who's, creating something that just them sharing, like, this is how I increased, or this is how I did this, or whatever. So helpful. So yeah, what would you say that you prefer when it comes to knitting and crochet pattern, and what do you wish you would see more of or less of when you're, purchasing a pattern or even having a, taking part of a free pattern? Let me know in a comment below. And yeah, I'm gonna now jump to the last chapter of the podcast, which is the last thoughts. Okay, guys, I don't know if you felt it, but I felt a little bit stressed. I know my husband will soon be home with the kids, and then I will have to just interrupt this podcast episode because he needs to run to work. So I just wanted to make sure that I got as much information as possible into this little video. And also, I had a few things, extra things that I could have talked about. If I would have had my desk a little bit in the, better shape and order, I could have remembered that. But I did buy. Let's see if I can see if yeah, you can even hear when I talk. I'm stumbling on my words. I bought these, by the way, for my cardigan to have a little bit to choose from. It's a Swedish company that I bought it from. I don't know if you can buy any of these abroad. The one that I'm going to use is probably this one. It's not going to be visible on the outside. It's going to be on the inside when you steek, and then you sew and you hide those. I think parts that you have cut up with this, and make sure that it's also more secure and not unraveling. And then I had these two. Just wanted to see if they were possible, for using that too. But I feel like I don't want any red because there's no red in my pattern. So that one it is. And we'll see what I will do with these two. I think that is going to be, this is probably not going to be the first and last time I'm going to steek. So I think that's going to be interesting. I have also not told you about I did buy two Chiago, is that how you, Chiago needles. One that is, I think this is the 3mm, and then a 4mm. The 4mm I'm using for my summer cardigan. And then I have this one as well with two of these. And the reason why I did that is because those are the only metal needles that I have. Otherwise, everything else is like wooden needles. I have these, usually Knit Pros. And when you have like several projects ongoing, obviously you need sometimes the same size several times. I enjoy my wooden needles. I love the metal needles, especially for the very rough wool. So I'm really glad I made that choice. I also have a little bit of yarn that I have also bought since last time we talked, which is like I'm gonna try the Sandnes yarn, garn in Swedish, and I also I didn't buy too much, like two of each, like Peer Gynt and then the double Sunday. Not sure what the project's going to be there yet. So I have a lot of yarn, and I have a lot of projects in mind. So I do need to use that and make sure that I do something with it. But yes, I am also trying to basically use all my stashed yarn so that I don't have too much that are just laying around. And I think that will be great for my small projects that is about to come. Like I have like I said, two, I think, Peer Gynt might be good for a small scarf or a beanie, maybe even gloves. We'll see. I'll have to see what kind of patterns I want to try and do. So yeah, that is all I had for you guys today. I wish I could talk with you a little bit longer. I could probably have had an hour for this episode, but time flies when you have fun, and I have other obligations during the summertime. So if you have any other wishes in the future for other chapters to add on this podcast, for other topics, for other spotlight questions, whatever it might be, please add those in the comment below. And I am also thinking about maybe specific videos later on for members, and maybe go into a little bit of maybe more other topics as well. So if that's something you're interested in, please let me know. And with that said, don't forget to subscribe if you want to, and you want to stick around and see more of this. So yeah, that is all. Thank you so much for watching.